Hey beautiful people, welcome to Scorpio September Romance Guidance. Hello beautiful people, it's your girl Shakima in the building. Hope everybody's having an awesome day today. I'm just stopping in today to do a reading for my Scorpio babies for the month of September. This is going to be a romance reading for my Scorpio Sun, Moon and Rising. And this is going to be a general reading, guys. So if it doesn't resonate, do let it dissipate. If I haven't already said so, definitely be sure to comment, like, share, definitely subscribe. And let me know how you guys are, using the guidance to be able to, I guess, navigate through the process of the energies for the month of September. As I mentioned, these are going to be general readings, so if you would like to book a personal reading with me, the details to do so will be in the description box below. If you would like to access the extended version of the reading, where I go deeper in depth to see what the interaction is going to be like with the different energies, for the different star signs that you're dealing with in terms of relationships. So Scorpios that are dealing with Virgos, for instance, you can do so via my Patreon channel. Sorry guys, my mouth is just not with it at the minute, but you'll be able to access again all the details in the description box below. Click on my Linktree link and click on the relevant tab depending on what you need. Okay, if you guys are interested in stuff like candles, I also make candles as well for the purpose of meditation. I also make ancestral candles to assist in connecting to the ancestral realms, and I also make personalized candles for whatever it is that you're going through that you may need some additional support with. I set my intentions to assist you in your journey of enlightenment with whatever shadows you are assisting or attempting to navigate through. Okay, so again, details will be in the description box below to do so. We're going to go and get straight into it, guys, because we want to be able to get as much as possible into the space here for you guys. So we're going to be pulling a past, present and future trajectory utilizing the tarot. So the present trajectory is going to give us an insight to see what are some of the challenges that you guys may face throughout the month of September in terms of romance. Now, we will then be able to go a little bit deeper to separate and segregate, if you will, the different aspects of relationships within my Scorpio babies tribe. So we're going to go for a romance card for my taken Scorpios, my single Scorpios, and those that are in situationships. I don't judge, we all need loving, however complicated it may be. So I also pull cards for those types of situations as well, just to give us some insight to see what will be coming for the different areas or aspects of romance for us. Okay, so we're going to go and get straight into it, guys, and see what is to come. Awesome stuff, guys. So what is the divine guidance, spirit, for my Scorpio babies for the month of September in romance? What do they need to know? You guys are carrying a lot of baggage from the past. There is a lot that you are thinking about in terms of the emotions of the situation, the emotions of past circumstances, the emotions of past relationships even. You're also carrying a lot of the baggage from those relationships, and that's probably some of the things that's weighing you down. You do get to the point where you're a little bit more optimistic about some of the heartbreaks from the past. You're looking at it maybe from a different lens this month. It does seem like you're hopeful, which is a nice place to be when it comes to romance. So I ain't mad at you guys. Right. Now, going forward, it seems as though there's going to be some significant changes very quickly for you guys throughout this month in terms of your romance. It does seem as though there's going to be some very quick communication as well. And it's almost like you'll be communicating about some of the baggage that you're carrying to really help yourself in offloading. So this again may have something to do with the Virgo new moon for you guys. Just releasing those emotional cycles and debts, those, I guess, emotional burdens that you've been carrying. Okay, let's have a little look and see what is the divine guidance, spirit, for my Scorpio babies for the month of September in terms of romance. What do they need to know for the month of September? As clearly as you can, please. Thank you. Let it flow naturally, guys. My guides know what they're doing. They just let the cards pop out as far as the messages that they want for me to speak on. Okay, so we have a past card. In the past trajectory, we've got the Fool card. So there may have been times where your optimism has let you down in the past in terms of romance, but it does seem as though you're coming into the space with a newfound perspective. It does feel as though you're a little bit more spontaneous You're not so caught up in, you know, having to make the absolute right decision about situation. It does seem as though, I guess, the communication has allowed for you to be a little bit more spontaneous with stuff, or you may also be spontaneously communicating some of the baggage that you've been carrying from your past relationships into your present relationships, for those of you that are in relationships or situationships. For those of you that are single, I see you being optimistic about this new journey that you're starting, this new journey that you're embarking on in terms of your romance. And it seems as though you've got a lot more clarity. It seems as though you're very clear in terms of what you think about the situation, and you're effectively communicating that as well. You're quite hopeful, and it does seem as though, you know, some of the baggage that you're carrying is because you are in your relationship. It seems like there's unconventional, untraditional, I guess, circumstances that you guys are dealing with. And those are some of the things that may have been causing you this feeling of baggage, that you're carrying emotional baggage, and it's actually been weighing on you heavily in your mental space. I can also see that you're getting mental clarity about why you've been hesitant to make certain decisions in terms of your romance, why it's actually been causing you some temporary depression, low vibrational reflections. The way that you've been looking at it hasn't necessarily been from the highest state of self. So those are some of the things that you're really going to be looking at, because you're prioritizing. You're actually deciding to make some time for romance this month. And it seems as though you're going through a significant transition beyond the previous restrictions that you may have had, you know, because of self-doubt, because of insecurities, because of lack of discipline. It's almost like, even though you were in the relationship, you weren't in the relationship, if you know what I mean. You were physically present in the relationship, but you weren't emotionally as available as you potentially could have been in the relationship. You're getting sort of clarity on that now. You're at that place where you can see some sort of ownership. It's almost like you're seeing the part that you've played in the relationship, and you're being a little bit more spontaneous in terms of the feelings. You're being a little bit more open, a little bit more courageous, and just like a breath of fresh air in terms of the way that you're navigating through your emotions. You're actually becoming a little bit more open emotionally as well, which is nice. That's a nice place to be with the situation, really. Let's see what the outcome is for you guys. What is the outcome for my Scorpios for the month of September in romance? What do we need to know? Show me, please. Okay, there we go. This is what we need to know, guys. Sorry, my nose is tickling me because they're communicating, and that happens sometimes. They're communicating through my nasal chakra, so that's why my nose is tickling. Try not to sort of mind that too much, but this is the future trajectory for you guys. You're not going to be as self-sufficient as you want to be, or as you thought that you were. You are going to find yourself being overly committed to work. It does also see you being in a position where you may be dealing with financial setbacks as well. So that's something to really consider now that you're going through. So what I would say to you guys, looking at the card here, I would say that you guys just need to be mindful about how you guys are being spontaneous with things, because you may find yourself overexerting your finances. Try to be, it's good to be spontaneous, but try to also be, how can I put it, meticulous with the spending aspect of things, because I can see that that's something that you're going to be learning from as well. I do also want to acknowledge that there is going to be a lack of teamwork, which is also going to be something that you're learning from moving forward in the future. Because, okay, so I'm seeing that this spontaneity that you're having, it isn't necessarily coming from a place that is entirely considering the relationship. It may just be coming from a place of selfishness, and no shade, no hate in the game. What I mean by that is that you may just be doing things so that you look a certain type of way, or so that you may feel better. And it's the biggest lesson that you're going to be learning is how to be effective as a team. So you may be making decisions spontaneously without your partner. And those are some of the things that, again, there's a lesson in there. So try not to make those decisions too quickly. It does seem as though you are, you know, in a good place. You are definitely making decisions from a secure place, from a place of emotional calmness. But it does also seem as though there's other factors to the situation. You know, there may have been, so some of you guys may be doing like guilt gifts. That's something to consider, because I can see that there's somebody that's been stabbed in the back, and that's kind of where these spontaneous acts of I don't want to say love, because it's more like a bribery more than anything, if I'm completely honest, because I just like to call a thing. Somebody's feeling bad about some of the decisions that they've made and the fact that they've been overly invested in their work circumstances. And some of the overspending is them overcompensating for the fact that they are not as emotionally available as they need to be in terms of the relationship. But if you're dealing with a Scorpio, what I would say to you is don't be caught up in the game of them overcompensating financially, because they're going to also find themselves in a position where they're in a rut by the end of the month, okay, because of that financial situation. And also their intentions for doing so may be coming from a place of guilt. So it's definitely being created from a lower vibrational reflection of themselves. I wouldn't advise anybody to enable a sick person. So if, you know, your person is, again, overcompensating, just really get to the depth of what's going on internally, because clearly they're carrying some baggage. Clearly there's things that they're still holding on to. Clearly there's things that they're still feeling guilty about, which is why they're trying to overcompensate. So maybe try to have a conversation with your Scorpio partner if you're in a relationship with a Scorpio. But it seems as though they have some mental clarity. It seems as though they're openly expressing stuff. So now would be a good time to have those conversations with your Scorpio counterpart if you are cross-watching for your Scorpio. Okay? So let's go and have a little look and see what's going on in terms of the romance cards. See what's going on for you guys with the different tribes, I guess. Keep an open mind about the relationship. Let's have a little look. What is the divine guidance for my Scorpios for the month of September, Spirit? What do they need to know? Like I said, keep an open mind about the relationship, especially about past circumstances of the relationship. And presently, you just kind of need to retreat from the outside world. Take some time to yourselves. Try not to be too fixated on what the outside world is thinking or feeling, or, you know, just take that time to yourselves to have some heart-to-heart conversations. The time of retreat is for you guys to be able to effectively communicate with each other. So like I said, just really take this time to have those conversations of the things that you're still holding on to that is currently impacting the space of your romance. Okay? What is the divine guidance, Spirit, for my Scorpios in committed relationships? What do they need to know? Okay, you guys are going through a process of healing family issues. Okay? Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. What I want to say to you, and this is what I was talking about as well, it really is a case of you guys becoming more effective in terms of your communicating, in terms of you being able to sort of give the information as openly as possible. Free yourself. Free yourself from the baggage of your root chakra. Free yourself from the baggage of how your parents did relationships. Free yourself from not being able to sort of speak from the heart space. You know, have those heart-to-heart conversations. Do definitely sort of take the opportunity to connect to your soulmate, because that's what's happening in the space. And if you don't do it now, what you'll find is that you continue to repeat the same cycles of the things that Spirit's trying to teach you how to learn now in this space and time. Okay, so definitely just kind of have the conversations that needs to be had so that you can clear your heart center and allow for you to be emotionally available in your relationship, because clearly there's some sort of guard or barrier that's up. Okay, let's have a look for my single Scorpios. What do my single Scorpios need to know, Spirit, for the month of September? There we go. For you guys, religious factor. Religious factor. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So I'm going to say this to you. Some of you guys are wearing masks within your relationship. You're basing your relationship based on what your religious factors are, and that may not be in alignment with you. You may have evolved beyond your religious perspective spiritually. And why I say that, okay, as someone who utilizes religion myself, as a spiritual practitioner, sometimes if we are not able to have our own relationship with God, which is what happens sometimes in relationships with religion, we stray away from our own path, and it means that we are using religion as a means to project our experience of ourselves into the world, and that may not be entirely who we are. That may just be a mask that we wear just because that's what we've been taught by our parents. You know, that's what we've been taught by the people that we grew up around. That's what we've been taught by our loved ones. So just bear that in mind. Religious factors is definitely playing a part in your relationship at the minute. So keep an open mind. First, your relationship with yourself needs to be clear, so that you can actually sort of bring someone in. I don't feel as though you single Scorpios are going to be bringing anyone into your space this month. I think you're going to be redefining who you are, figuring out who you are versus who your religion tells you that you should be or have to be, or how you perceive yourself through the lens of your relationship with your religion. And also just really identifying who you are through your own personal relationship with God versus your religious aspect or reflection of God. Okay, I want to just put that out there for you guys, because it does seem as though you're going to, by going through the process this month, you'll be able to sort of take the mask off and allow for yourself to evolve naturally. Okay, let's have a little look and see what's going on for my Scorpios in situationships. What's going on for my Scorpios in situationships, Spirit? What do they need to know for the month of September? Cards are jumping here, guys, so clearly there's a lot going on for y'all. What is the divine guidance for my Scorpios in situationships for the month of September? Okay, we have guidance for you guys. Finance and career. Finance and career is a factor for you guys. So financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So again, I mentioned that to you guys already, that there may be certain situations where you may be overinvested in work, or you may also find yourself being sort of like financially unstable because of like setbacks, because of these guilt gifts that's being put out there. So just be mindful of that. Have those open heart-to-heart conversations so that you guys can be kept in the know. Forgiving and learning is also what you're going to be experiencing by going through the cycle. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So just bear in mind, as you have those heart-to-heart conversations and letting this person know, okay, maybe I can't do as much as I used to do before because financially I'm not in a position to do so, or you know, because of where my career is now taking a turn in going, I may not have as much free time to be able to give to the relationship. But I do also want to make sure that I'm emotionally available for you within the relationship as well. It's just something that is equally just as important to me. So just bear that in mind, guys. You know, effective communication is key. We can, you know, we tell ourselves that, oh, we can't sort of have certain conversations with people, but it's not necessarily the conversation that may be an issue. It's the way that we communicate, the things that we have to say, that may be the actual barrier between us being able to communicate effectively and now. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it there for you guys. I'm going to go and get into the extended version of the reading. If you guys would like to book a personal reading with me, as I mentioned, details will be in the description box. If you guys would like to access the extended reading, again, check out the description box below. You can click on my Patreon tab via the Linktree link, and you'll be able to access the relevant reading based on the tier that you select. Okay, as per usual, beloveds, I'm just going to leave it there for you, sending you nothing but love, light, and positive intentions for the journey. Definitely be sure to subscribe for more awesome videos, because I am doing a lot more frequent videos for you guys, for daily uploads as well. Definitely check out my playlist on my actual channel, where you guys will be able to see a breakdown of all of the amazingness that is there, and that will be continuing to unfold for you in time to come. Sending you my love, beloveds. Until next time. Mwah. Ashe.
That's all, folks. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and hit the bell for more.